Hello, my name is Emmanuel Duse, and today we're talking about Great Zimbabwe. Great Zimbabwe is is merely referred to in the ancient times as the Kingdom of Zimbabwe. This kingdom reigned from the 1220 to 1450, which is mainly around the 13th and 14th century. The people that settled that are said to have settled in Great Zimbabwe are the, are the people that um, moved from Mapungubwe, which collapsed in the 13th century. Mapungubwe is said to have been the main place where all kingdoms in South Africa had developed. Also, it also connects with other cultures around Africa, or mainly in Africa, no matter where they are, in the west, east and north, or south, which is evident with the games such as Owari that art historian Casely Hayford um, exemplified as being called Owari, which is a game also known in West Africa and most likely have been originated from Mapungubwe. This is a map of Africa, and Zimbabwe is the place is located in the southern of Africa, as you can see marked in red. The people of Great Zimbabwe. In this slide, we'll be talking about people that made Zimbabwe or settled in Great Zimbabwe. Um, it's said to it's said that Great Zimbabwe, the people that settled in Great Zimbabwe, are ancestors of the Shona people and the Bantu speaking people, which were located in the southern of Africa and southeast, southwest, and the people that settled in the Swahili area. This approximately 10,000 to 20,000 people have occupied the Great Zimbabwe territory after the demise of Mapungubwe. The main Great Zimbabwe area, which is the hill complex, is said to have been the area where the monarchs or the the rulers or the leaders of this great kingdom had settled. In this settlement, the people the rulers and the leaders were protected, felt protected in the area because nobody without authority could enter that area. This side of Great Zimbabwe is is this side of Great Zimbabwe is divided into three main sites, which consist of the hill complex, the great enclosure, and the valley ruins. In arts historian Gus Casely Hayford video, he talks about this great place or this great stone masonry, sorry, as an El Dorado of Africa, which he used this in this case to talk about the greatness of the architecture that was found, since people didn't really believe that the Africans was able to build this amazing amazing stone built wall um, without mortar that modern people use to build their homes today. Yet this building was able to sustain life and has been has been there several years, and it seems like it's still strong enough to with even these with the conditions, the decline of our climate, and so on and so forth. This a picture to the right is how the hill complex looks, and it said that it's the oldest part of the site. It's like the oldest part of the stone masonry, and as in my description here, that I found online, Britannica, which gives information about the Great Zimbabwe area. It talks about with having been built without a mortar, which is an element that they used to build walls, build things such as walls. Sorry. And the Great Enclosure, which is also part of the site, the three main sites of Great Zimbabwe, is said to be the largest single ancient structure in sub-Saharan Africa. And this part of the site is this part of the site creates an enclosure or a route for people to pass through. It created a route for people to pass through. Either they're going to the Valley Ruins or the hill complex, where not everybody could go to. And most for the most part of this great enclosure, there's a path that leads to the Conical Tower, which um, historians have basically have no idea, or I haven't found evidence of what the Conical Tower was used for, but they suggest or estimate that it had probably been a symbolic grain bin or a phallus symbol. The Valley Ruins, in which the great enclosure was a part of, is where the buildings of the people were located and where the people lived. It is located between the hill complex and the great enclosure. This is a picture of how the great Zimbabwe looked like. Great Zimbabwe thrived in a lot of Great Zimbabwe thrived very well and managed their resources and economy very wisely as a um, city state or as a trading city. The city state was a rich area in gold. Um, they raised the people that lived there raised cattle to feed their families and also to to be to be able to provide for their families and other families around the world. Which by that I mean they were able to trade these cattle along along their borders and over their borders at times. Also, as you maybe know, people people of ancient root where it mainly lived on agriculture, which they were able to farm, grow their own food, harvest their own food, and cultivate what they have grown for years, maybe decades, to share with their families and sustain themselves as a civilization. The great Zimbabweans didn't live by themselves. and they did not depend on themselves only. They were able to trade with people close to close to their borders along the Middle East, on the of the ocean, Indian Ocean, the Far East, as in China is involved. Um, they were able to communicate with outsiders, such as the Portuguese, Chinese, Indians, Saudi Arabians, and so on. Some some major things they were able to trade in for food or for other valuables to their life was gold, which they had a lot of, and it's believed that Great Zimbabwe was was an exemplary harbor of gold. Also, they were able to trade their ivories and from the Asians, or from people from Far East and Middle East. Like in China, they were able to get the Chinese pottery, which is an evidence that was found out in the ruins of the Great Zimbabwe. Also, they found stoneware and Persian bowls, which is also an evidence that they were able to trade along the Indian Ocean. The kingdom imported um, cloth, glass beads, and ceramics, and this is a good place where a lot of artifacts are found that shows how the beauty of their culture, the culture they have, and the culture that existed in their time. To support art historian Casely Hayford, I would say this civilization or this kingdom is a great example of an El Dorado, and I support his El Dorado statement. Thank you for joining me in this class lecture, and hope to see you again.